Hello there, 7th graders. This is Mr. Casci speaking. As you can see, I won't be able to make it in today, but we will still be going through this lesson on 8.5. So let's get started. Our schedule for the day is up on the board, as always. Hopefully attendance has been taken. If the homework hasn't been collected, go ahead and pause the video and collect homework. Make sure your first and last name is on it, and they're all facing the same direction, so it's easier for me to sort through them. Today's lesson is on 8.5, circumference and area of a circle, and you'll have plenty of time today for your for your assignment, and it is a worksheet, not a book assignment there. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Okay, circumference and area of a circle. First of all, we have to get some terminology out of the way, some vocab. Okay, and circumference is basically just the perimeter of a circle. See how this coin is going around? Well, we roll it until it faces the same direction as it did at the beginning, and that distance from there to there would be our circumference, the distance around a circle. Okay, a lot of people would like to say perimeter of a circle, but we have a specific name for that, and that's called the circumference. And we're going to talk about that here just a little bit to make sure that you guys understand what that exactly is. All right, hopefully everybody's had time to write that down. So now we have two circles here, and we have the circumference, which is the distance all the way around, and then the diameter, which is the distance across a circle, always going through the center. Okay, and so if the circumference is something like that, 18.85, which that's the type that you'll be seeing a lot of circumferences that are down to the decimal like that. And the diameter is 6, you can see how that the circumference is just over 3 times as big as the diameter. And same thing here, 7.85 is the circumference, and the diameter is 2.5. Now, I didn't put any units on this. This isn't feet, this isn't meters, centimeters. I'm just interested on how those two numbers relate. Okay, 7.85 is just over 3 times as much as 2.5. And that number, that ratio that we're talking about, how much bigger the circumference is compared to the diameter, is a number that we call pi. And that is the ratio of a circle's circumference to its diameter. And for our purposes in our class, and you'll see a lot on exams and things like that, we're just going to use 3.14 for pi. Unless it tells you differently, always use 3.14 for pi. There will be some times that you will be asked to use the exact irrational number, 3.14159, all that kind of stuff that keeps going on. But for our purposes, just put 3.14. If you need to pause the video for a little bit longer time to write these things down, you go right ahead and do that. But I need to move on for video purposes. Okay, formulas for circumference and area. Radius of 4 inches. So the circumference is 2 times pi times r. That is the formula for circumference. And for area, it is pi times r squared. Okay, or pi times r. Okay, and so I would like to go through two examples. One that they basically have the same radius. Okay, so the circumference would be set equal to 2 times 3.14 times r of 4. Okay, and then what I like to do is I don't like to punch it into my calculator quite yet. I like to take this number, the 2, and the radius, and put them together. So I have 8 times 3.14. And that is just a simple way of doing that, is just combining the 2 and the radius to punch less into the calculator for less human error. Okay, so 8 times 3.14, and we get 25.12 inches. 25.12 inches. and that is a distance. That is the distance around, so that is not in square units. Okay, so when we're talking about a linear distance around an object, that's obviously just going to be in singular units, not square units. Okay, moving over here, to find our area, we have to go pi, which is 3.14, and multiply that by the radius, which is 4, and by the radius again, which is 4. Okay, and once again, I'd like to simplify that down a little bit before I punch that into my calculator. I go 3.14 times, well, 4 times 4 is 16. Okay, and so then I would go over to my calculator, 3.14 times 16. Okay, and that's 50.24, and that is in square inches. Okay, and it's always easy to remember that areas in square inches because we are squaring the radius. Okay, that's how I remember it, is when we square the radius, we have square units. When we don't square the radius, we don't have square units. That's just an easy reminder on when to have square units in your answer and when not to have square units in your answer. Okay, so if you need a little bit more time to copy down the work on the board, that's fine. Make sure you take good notes, but pause the video if you need to, but I need to move on here. Okay, so this is an example that you'd be seeing in your homework. Okay, they'll give you something, and then you have to find both the circumference and the area of the circle. And in this case, they want you to round to the nearest tenth. Okay, so let's just do the circumference over here. So circumference, 2 times pi times r. Okay, and in this case our diameter is 9, so we have to know that our radius is 4.5, half of 9. Okay, so our circumference in this case is going to be 2 times 3.14 times 4.5. But if you can see that if we were to take this 2 and the 4.5 and multiply it out again, we would just get the diameter of 9. Okay, and that will help us out in the circumference, but the area is going to be a little different. So the circumference is 9 times 3.14. Okay, and then we go to our calculators. 9 times 3.14, and we come out with 28.26, and that is in meters. Okay, and that's linear meters. 28.26 meters is the circumference of that circle over there to the right. Okay, next we'll do area, which is pi times r squared, or just pi r squared. Okay, so our area is 3.14 times, okay, our radius is 4.5 squared, which means we just multiply it by another 4.5. Okay, and I'd like to simplify that r squared first, so I do 3.14, okay, and then 4.5 times 4.5, and we get 20.25, so it's going to be 3.14 times 20.25. That is our last thing that we need to punch in. 3.14 times 20.25. And hopefully you get the same area as me. I got 63.6. Remember, we're rounding to the nearest tenth. Oh, this should be 28.3 then over here. 28.3 meters over there. 63.6 square meters for the area over here. 63.6 square meters. All right. So there's two examples doing circumference and area side by side. You'll probably be asked to be doing it differently in your assignment, but that is two solid examples of circumference, two examples of area, and different ways you'll be seeing those types of problems in your homework. Okay, so go ahead, please. I believe there's two worksheets for you today. Go ahead and get started right away on those. Keep your notes out for reference. Make sure you show all your work. Show me what you put into your calculator. Even though you're using your calculator, please show me how you use the formulas that I taught you today. Okay, we're going to ramp it up a little bit tomorrow. It's going to get rather complicated, so hopefully you get plenty of practice on this tonight, so tomorrow will go a little bit smoothly, a little bit more, little smoother. So go ahead, work hard, and oh, that's not your book assignment. You have 2 worksheets today. Go ahead and we'll get those going for you. Have a good rest of the day, and remember, I'm pulling for you.